Well, voters in Scottsbluff will have an important choice to make in November following action from the City Council this week. A half-cent sales tax would be used to fund the proposed Scottsbluff Aquatic Center, which was approved by resolution Monday night at City Hall. Now, voters will decide whether they are in favor of the half-cent increase or not to help fund this community project. Acting City Manager Kevin Spencer says wording on the resolution did need to get reworked after a similar attempt a year ago.
After some work with the Bond Council, Liz and Kent, and the Bond Council determined that the resolution needed some modification, that the wording was really too specific, and the concern was, what do we do with the excess receipts if there are any?
In May, Gering voters approved a similar half-cent sales tax to fund infrastructure projects. Both of those proposals would sunset after 10 years. We'll have more news right after this.
At Platte Valley Bank, we want to help you take advantage of every adventure. We know you have plans, goals, and dreams. Let us help you with them. Whether it is building, buying, or renovating, we have the home loan or home equity line of credit to fit your needs. Stop in and see us at Platte Valley Bank and let us help make your dreams a reality. You belong here. Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
High Plains Auto Club presents the 23rd Annual Father's Day Rock and Roll Classic. Friday, June 17th. Registration begins at 2 p.m. at the Gering Civic Center with a welcome barbecue, cruise for cash, and ice cream social. Saturday, June 18th, parade at 9 a.m., show and shine from 10 to 4, and awards banquet. To enter, go to highplainsautoclub.com or call 308-765-2418. This event is sponsored by Dairy Queen, Dooley Oil, and KNEB Rural Radio Network.
Welcome back. A 28-year-old Gering man has been sentenced to prison after getting caught with a sizable amount of methamphetamine. Dimas Garza was arrested in November after getting pulled over for a busted brake light, which resulted in the discovery of 28 grams of suspected meth. Garza ultimately pleaded guilty to an amended charge of distribution of an exceptionally hazardous drug, which is a Class 2 felony, and in exchange for his plea, the habitual criminal enhancement was dismissed. Last week in district court, Garza was sentenced to a prison term of 5 to 8 years. Sticking with the courts now, as a Scottsbluff County District Court jury has found a 40-year-old Gering man not guilty of attempted first-degree sexual assault on an incompetent person. Daniel Luke Keener was found not guilty on the Class 2A felony charge on May 26th, as well as a Class 4 felony charge of witness tampering. Keener was arrested in November of 2020 after being accused in a series of alleged sexual assaults on a victim who would occasionally become incapacitated when taking prescription medication. And an Omaha business owner has been selected by Governor Pete Ricketts to fill the Legislative District 31 seat left vacant by the death of Senator Rich Pauls back in April. Kathleen Kauth was sworn in by Secretary of State Bob Evnen and will serve the remainder of Paul's term, which ends in January. Ricketts says 5 people applied for the post, and Kauth's background and experience was the perfect fit.
As she comes to the legislature, she is going to be looking to be able to continue to control spending so we can continue to provide tax relief. She wants to make sure we have strong schools that support our students, and also wants to make sure that we are cutting the red tape on small businesses that ultimately create most of the jobs here in our country.
Kauth, who said she was deeply honored by the appointment, owns a mediation and consulting business with her husband Andrew and holds a master's degree in public policy.
Why love a rain garden? Let me count the ways. Rain gardens contain and filter water runoff while recharging our underground water supply. They provide habitat for birds, bees, and beneficial insects. Native perennials give 4 seasons of color and texture, beautifying a home while increasing its value. Established gardens are low-maintenance, low-water landscape features, colorful, functional, and sustainable. Rain gardens. Brought to you by Tri-City Stormwater. Our water, our responsibility.
Find out what convenient really means at the Western Travel Terminal. Start with our great selection of food and drinks, from for real milkshakes and fresh brewed coffee to snacks and hot food. Next, check out our beer and spirits with their everyday low prices. Finally, let us work for you with our full-service gas station and automatic truck and car wash. All this can be found at 822 South Beltline in Scottsbluff. Western Travel Terminal, your convenient shopping, restaurant, and full-service gas leader.
This is KNEB.TV weather from the KNEB Storm Center, your trusted source for weather.
All quiet here across the area as we go through the evening hours. Skies will turn partly cloudy. We'll see a fair amount of clouds tomorrow morning to start the day, and they will burn off later on during the afternoon. Storms will develop to the east of us tomorrow. Most of our area, I think, is going to stay dry, just an isolated shot of a shower, and then temps are going to heat up for the weekend. We could be looking at some record highs possible before we turn sharply cooler for Tuesday of next week. Yesterday we hit 75 after a morning low of 50. We got 0.02 of an inch of moisture in the rain gauge out of those storms yesterday, and a lot of hail in many locations yesterday, unfortunately. 77 right now in Sterling. It's 76 in Norfolk. How about 68 up in Rapid? Closer to home, temperatures are in the 70s across all of western Nebraska and southeastern Wyoming this evening, and winds fairly light, under 10 to 15 miles an hour, and gusts are pretty much non-existent as well this evening. Well, as we look at the severe weather threat today, it's well to our east, as you can see, pretty much dry here in our area. That changes for tomorrow. We reset the stage with a round of some strong to severe thunderstorms. Far eastern portions of our coverage area, maybe a slight chance of a marginal risk of a severe storm. Again, we're not talking about a great deal of coverage area, but a few areas right in the southeastern panhandle and far west central Nebraska could be dealing with a little bit of severe weather. That moves out as we go into Friday and we turn quiet again. Futurecast tonight does show just a few clouds overhead. That is about it. Otherwise, it is abundantly quiet out there, and low temperatures overnight that are going to slip down into the 50s for the most part. Very chilly evening coming our way. Not as cool as last night. Comfortable evening, I guess we should say. Tomorrow we have a few clouds to start the day. Quite a few clouds. A break coming in the afternoon. A few thunderstorms are going to form. They're going to be very few and far between, mostly to our east and southeast. Most of our area is going to stay dry, but an isolated shower or storm can't be ruled out. Highs are going to be all over the place tomorrow. 70s in the north, 80s to near 90 in the south, and we've got temps that are going to go well above that starting for the weekend, and nothing really coming in the rain bucket. Anything that falls is going to be very minor. 56 tonight with mostly cloudy skies. Tomorrow will be some clouds early, then some afternoon sun. 86 your expected high, and our 7-day forecast stays mostly dry, definitely dry for a good portion of the weekend. We turn hotter on Saturday, could be upper 90s, again on Monday in the upper 90s, but look what happens between Monday and Tuesday. We fall 20-25 degrees into the 70s and back into the 80s for Wednesday of next week, and it looks like right after this, Thursday into next weekend, we'll turn warmer again with temps possibly back into the 90s.
I really like how our OB department takes our limited amount of doctors and turns it into a strength. Even though we only have a couple of people, you get to know them well over your entire pregnancy. We have 2 state-of-the-art labor rooms that are new with our last addition. We have a couple of very nice postpartum rooms also right here in the hospital, so they can get as much time with mom and baby as possible.
this week's featured pet of the week, we meet Koru, a 1-year-old Mastiff boxer mix who has a whole lot of love to give. Koru is a loving boy who needs the right person to help him shine. He lived primarily outside in his last home, so he is not potty trained and will need someone patient enough to teach an old dog this new trick. He's happy and energetic and will not hesitate to pull you around while you explore the world together. Adoption cost is $150, and that includes his vaccinations, microchipping, and neutering costs.
Welcome to Kelly's, home of the Valley's best selection of wine, spirits, and beer. Whether you're brand loyal to the tried and true brew or really enjoy trying something different and new, Kelly's has something for everyone. Family owned and operated and right on your way on West 27th Street in Scotts Bluff. Kelly's Liquor. If you can't find it at Kelly's, it's not worth drinking.
Well, let's take a peek at what's happening on your midweek community calendar. Community Calendar is brought to you by Riverstone Bank. First State Bank is now Riverstone Bank. Community strong with the same people you know and trust.
Panhandle Trails Intercity Public Transit, based in Alliance, Nebraska, is the only intercity bus serving Nebraska Panhandle communities and Pine Ridge, South Dakota. Panhandle Trails operates a regularly scheduled bus service, assisting you in making connections with Greyhound bus partners, regional airports, healthcare, employment and education opportunities, shopping, family, friends, and more. Panhandle Trails serves the general public of all ages and offers accessible transportation for those with special mobility needs. Let Panhandle Trails help you make your connection. Call 308-761-8747.
At Platte Valley Bank, we want to help you take advantage of every adventure. We know you have plans, goals, and dreams. Let us help you with them. Whether you are just starting the business you have always imagined or looking to grow your existing one, we have a business loan to fit your needs. Stop in and see us at Platte Valley Bank and let us help make your dreams a reality. You belong here. Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
And finally tonight, every year the National Pony Express Association reignites the spirit and memory of the Pony Express during the annual re-ride. Word letters are carried in a satchel by over 750 riders on the original Pony Express Trail. Lead interpreter Eric Grunwald at the Scottsbluff National Monument tells KNB News they will be arriving on Thursday afternoon. But because it's done on horseback, just like the original Pony Express, they don't know exactly when the riders will be arriving.
It'll be sometime around 4 o'clock, but it could be a little bit earlier or a little bit later. But what they do once they get here is one of the riders will take their mochila, which is the pouch that they would have put over the horse's back to carry the mail, and they're going to transfer that mochila from their horse to another rider's horse. And then once the mochila is secured on that other rider's horse, they're going to take off and keep headed west.
The 1,966-mile, 8-state event is conducted 24 hours a day until the mail is delivered to its destination. This year, the re-ride is traveling westbound from St. Joseph, Missouri to Sacramento, California. Well, that does it for us this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you here next time.